What did I do this morning? I went over to Town Fair Tire, really good service, Norwalk, and Rich helped me out there. And we are going to put on the OEM Bridgestone Potenza, the all seasons. The Potenzas that are on there now in the rear are summers, and I'm going to bring it back to stock. And
stock or stock? You said stock.
I said stock. I'm thinking.
What country are you
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I have like Tesla on the mind with this missing stocks. Welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where today Kathy and we're going to be taking Bailey over to meet her new dog sitter. And while we're on our way over there, I thought what we would do is update all of you with today I've been doing nothing but going out and making appointments and having my ELR and my Volt sort of like dialing them in, right? Going to the tire places and going to repair shops and talking to General Motors about what it's going to take to fix up these cars. And I thought what I would do is just kind of give you a quick update on that as we head over to meet Bailey's new pet sitter. So let's get into it. You okay with that?
Do I have a choice?
Nope. All right, so as many of you know, the last 2 weeks has been sort of a little bit exciting with respect to acquisitions of cars. I think I got two very good cars, both of them at very good prices. One is a 2015 Chevy Volt, and it has 143,000 miles on it. So it's a baby. It's just getting broken in. And the other is a 2016 Cadillac ELR, which is just a beautiful car. And but you know what happens is when you buy when you buy a new to yourself, a pre-loved, a pre-owned, let's be honest, a used car, what happens?
There are things that might need a little tweaking.
You always got to work through it, right? And you got to figure them out. So you got to drive them a little while. And then what happens is everything that you try to look for, even if you hire a mechanic to check them out ahead of time, you tend to always find, I'm going straight here, I guess. You tend to always find things that need to be fixed. And so first thing right off the bat is this ELR needs tires. It's got Toyos in the front. It's got Bridgestone Potenza summer tires in the rear that are worn out. And yesterday, remember when we were driving back in the ELR from your dad's house on Long Island, it started to snow and the car was squirrely on the LIE, and I wasn't going that fast. And I had looked at the tires, but boy, I'll tell you what, they need to be replaced. They're definitely old, and that's okay. I knew that kind of going into it, that I didn't want to have.
Well, you didn't like that they were missing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's really super important if you have an all-wheel drive car to run the same exact tire in the front and the rear. But when it comes to, a front-wheel drive or a rear-wheel drive car, it's recommended that you have. I just personally, it doesn't feel right to me having two different tires, sets of two different brands of tires. We are going to put on the OEM Bridgestone Potenza, the all seasons. The Potenzas that are on there now in the rear are summers. So anyway, I'm going to put them back to stock. Okay. Is that
STOCK?
That's right. So I'm going to do that. And these tires were $409 each list. They brought them down to their normal selling price of, I think, $319 is what they sell them for at Town Fair Tire. But without me even asking, the guy went on to, there's a Bolt, without me, just a regular, not an EUV. And without me even asking, he went on to TireRack.com and saw that they were $309 each. And so he either met them or, either met them or beat them. I can't remember which, but $309 each. Okay, now, I need two TIA PMS sensors. Those things are about $40 each. Two of mine failed, and he had a little sensor that you could check them out, and he confirmed that the right front and the left rear TPMS sensors are not, they're just dead. And so he's going to salvage 2, and then I have to buy 2. And then I'm also going to need an alignment. Whenever you put on 4 tires, you need to get an alignment done. And then, you know, they have these disposition fees for the tires. Anyway, with tax, $1,700 for 4 tires, but it's got to be done. And so those are going to be put on this week, and I'm looking forward to that. The one thing, I don't know about you, Kathy, but everything in that ELR, no creaks, no rattles, no wind noise.
Very solid.
Very solid. But what did we hear a lot of? Tire noise.
Oh, that we heard.
A lot of tire noise.
Yes.
And so it'll be interesting to see if that tire noise is reduced by these 4 new tires. If it's not, then that's the way the car is, and I'll have a complaint about it. But I'm holding off on calling that car loud with respect to tire noise until I get it back to stock. Mm-hmm. Did you notice I said the correct? All right, so that's the first thing. Second thing is, yesterday, when we took the ride out, the heated seats didn't work. And so I called.
Well, qualify that. It worked. I was in the passenger seat. It took 45 minutes before I felt a litlittle warmth.
Yeah, something.
So it wasn't totally dead, although when I was in it earlier today, I don't think it worked.
Yeah, they're not working. Or they're on their way out. And these, by the way, the heated seats in the Volt, unbelievable. They get hot. And
the major positive.
I mean, you don't have the downside is in the Volt, at least the base Volt. I didn't have the Premier, that doesn't have a heated steering wheel. And the heated steering wheel that's on the ELR is just, I give it a C+, not even a B-. It's okay. It takes the chill off. B-. No, you got B+? You got B+? No, this isn't even B. This is C+.
That's right.
So, if anybody knows the reference to B+, please put it in the comments, because there is a classic old, very funny old YouTube video. Yeah. All you teachers out there would sort of laugh at that. Anyway, so I called the Cadillac dealership, which is scary in its own right. But then when you realize that the local Cadillac dealership is in Greenwich, Connecticut, it's like a double scare factor. Okay.
It's a double price factor.
It's a double price factor. But I talked to this guy, Luke, and, you know, he told me, nice guy.
I think you're supposed to turn here.
Oh yeah, I can turn here. You're right. So nice guy, but he was telling me that, I'm just going to pull in here and talk for a moment because this
might gather your thoughts.
Actually, this I might gather my thoughts, but I might not. That boat right over there from the Maritime Aquarium is an electric hybrid boat, which is very cool. I'm going to get out and take a picture of that and show everyone.
Okay, you do that because it's 25 degrees out.
All right, so here we are in Norwalk, Connecticut. This is actually where the old IMAX theater was, for those of you maybe that know the area. But what's really interesting is this boat over here is so cool. The RV Spirit of the Sound. This is a hybrid electric boat. And I definitely want to check this out in the summertime. This is RV Spirit of Sound, Norwalk, Connecticut. Very cool. I think it's a diesel hybrid electric. All right, so I'm back from the boat. Very cool. Really neat. Anyway, I'm going to go for a ride on that boat. I want to talk to the captain. I want to see how that thing works.
I don't think the captain's on the boat.
Not today.
Oh.
Not today.
Not today.
We're going to do that in the summertime when it's warm. And then we're going to pull up to the Sonos Seafood Company and get some lobsters. That's what we're going to do.
That is good. All
right, so in order for GM to even look at the car, how much do you think they just to look at it and see what the problem might be?
Somewhere around $200 to $250.
Spot on. $216.
How do I know that? He's been talking about it all day.
I didn't tell you the number.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did?
And I thought that was a lot of money.
$216 to look at the just to look at the car. Now, if I decide that I need to fix it, they'll put that money towards whatever it costs to fix it. So I have to decide whether or not I really want heated seats in the ELR or not, or if maybe there's a fix that I could do myself. So we're going to have to look at that. And then the other thing that's wrong with the ELR is on the Q system. It's a touchscreen system, and there's these two spots on the screen where it's just dead. So what was really interesting was there's Min, Eco, and Max for the HVAC system. And it was on Max, so I chose Min, and then I wanted to go to Eco or back to Max, and I can't. But then I figured out that it had some extra buttons on it, so I could actually navigate around it. So it's not imperative that I swap out this Q system, but it may be a hint of things to come that the thing is on its way out. So I figured, Luke, give me a price on how much it would cost to change out the Q system, because the touchscreen is, it's seemingly getting a little bit flaky. I asked him if that was a common thing, and he said that for the Q systems, really not that common. A lot of people complain about they don't love it just, because of the touch, the haptic and all of that. We had a little chat about that as opposed to dials. But he's only seen about, I don't know, he's been there a long time, maybe about 6 or 7 of them being replaced. So that was interesting. So anyway, that's what's going to be happening with the ELR over the next few days or week or so. Now, the Volt, right? The Volt, I heard when I was driving down the road, there really isn't anything wrong with the Volt. It's quite amazing.
It's a great car.
143,000 miles. I took it over. When I was going over bumps, I was hearing a noise in the back, and I took it over to a local fix-it shop just locally in the next town over in Norwalk, and the guy took it out, and he's like, that I wouldn't fix. I would just live with it. And then I said, yeah, but it bothers me. And then we went in the back, and he saw the charging cable was in the back, and the J1772 adapter plug was just rattling around in there. And he said, look, problem solved, right? And I was like, wow. I mean, and
you're so darn sensitive to noise.
I know, I hate noise.
Any
I know.
little noise bothers
Misophonia
you.
can cost you, folks. So anyway, so I'm thinking to myself, this guy is a great guy. And so he said, I looked at your rear brakes while he had the car, and he said, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And he said, it's not like it's imperative, but he said that you probably should swap out the rotors and the pads on the rear brakes. And the brakes feel fine to me.
I drove it. It felt great.
Felt fine to me.
Yeah.
So he said, let me get you an estimate. And this guy spent, he took my car out for a test drive a couple of times. I went with him one time. And so he called me back and he said, I'm only going to charge you $140 to swap out the brakes, but the parts are like $325. And he called around to 3 different places, and he said, I can do the job today, but it's going to be $525 plus tax. And he said, you don't have to do it. And, but I would recommend it at least some point in the future. And so he says, it's not like it's dangerous or anything like that.
Yeah, I say leave it.
And, he looked at the rest of the car, which is always good. And, and he said the car is actually in really clean shape. So I decided not to do the brakes now, only because I kind of want to keep my costs down. And
well, we don't know that we're keeping it. And he did not seem to think at all that it was.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was dangerous to the point where, hey, listen, I'm not letting you have the car back, that it's such a hazard. And I said, listen, I'm going to pass on it. What do I owe you for the day? He goes, don't worry about it, Dave. He goes, next time you need repair work, just come back. And I was like,
wow, it's nice.
Wow. I mean, the guy spent a lot of time on the car today. So just a quick shout out to the owner of this place, Mike DeJesus, here in Norwalk, Connecticut. He's the one that actually did the analysis on my Chevy Volt, and I just want to thank him for being straight shooter, honest businessman. A lot of cars here, super busy. So and here we have we have the Volt over here. And again, I decided not to do the brakes, at least not at this point in time, just because it's not necessary. And I'm hoping the little noise in the back is gone now that we just moved around the charging cable. So, Mike, thanks again. And if you're in town, this is Norwalk, Connecticut, De Jesus Auto Services, #2 quality service, and give them a call. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. The tires on the Volt are even good. I think they maybe only have 5,000 miles on them, and they're all seasons, which is great. So that's the update on the Volt and the ELR. We also shot a video about you driving both those cars for the first time.
I had that nice opportunity. I compared them. I was in one.
Yeah.
Switched over to the other. And so I have real feelings on, if we were to keep one, which one it might be.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we're going to end up with the ELR. It's next level. It really is. It's really good. And then we're just going to go over here to Sono Mall. So keep an eye out for that video. Kathy's comparo of the ELR versus the Volt, both in aesthetics as well as drivability. That's going to be a must see, right?
Of course.
I will give you a hint. She said
Who doesn't want my opinion?
She gave the ELR a 10.
Wow, you just gave it away.
But I didn't tell you what scale it was on. It might have been 100. I don't know, but it is a 10. That's for sure. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take this over, this Model Y, and we're going to recreate the little pole smackaroonie incident, or I should say kiss. It wasn't right? It was a little kiss. But for those of you that are driving Teslas, the latest software release, I'll go over it in the video, they changed the way with which you're actually able to see your surroundings, and it's much more detailed. So I want to compare what this new version of the software is to the older version and see what it's like. And I'm going to ask Kathy for her help in filming that. So anyway, I hope this is, hope you don't mind me updating you with all of the sort of activity with both the Volt and the ELR, having a lot of fun, both great cars. And we've got a little bit of snow coming in tonight for tomorrow. So maybe we'll do some donuts with the front wheel drive cars.
Woohoo!
Speaking of donuts, Speedy Donuts.
Oh, no, no more.
Speedy Donuts.
No more.
Oh, man, they're so good. They're so good in Norwalk. Voted best
in Connecticut.
Best in Connecticut breakfast dive. And, the crullers, the French crullers.
All right, stop.
All right, thanks again, everyone, for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave. We'll catch you on the next one. Stay tuned for more content about the ELR and the Bolt.
He's like a kid in a candy
I just called
shop.
it a Bolt again.
Oh, my God.
It's a Volt, Dave.
High voltage.
High voltage. Yeah, the car's name is High Voltage. And the other one?
Eleanor.
Eleanor. The ELR's name is Eleanor. Anyway, take care, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye.